Hey there, and welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I am your host, Pete Pardo, publisher and CEO of SOT. Today is Thursday, July the 7th. Welcome to summer. Hope you all had a great 4th of July long weekend for you folks here in the U.S. of A. Stars and Stripes forever. We've got another set of new music that we want to talk about today in the realms of heavy metal, progressive rock, jazz, fusion, classic rock, all that good stuff that we cover, because you know we cover it all. So let's kick it right off. I've got kind of two featured CDs of the week this week for you. I couldn't decide which one to talk about first and which one to kind of play some music in the background, but I'm going to go with the one that just is kicking my ass a little bit more, and that's the latest from Scorpion Child, and it is called Acid Roulette, out now on Nuclear Blast Records. Wow. You know, a couple years ago, 2014 to be exact, they released their debut self-titled release, and this band from Texas really impressed a lot of people with their 70s meets 80s style of, you know, hard rock and metal and psychedelia and blues rock and all that good stuff. Well, they've knocked it out of the park tenfold on this one. I mean, as much as I love the debut, this thing just kicks some serious ass, folks. You know, if you can imagine a meeting of Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and maybe a little Skid Row, throw in vocals that sound like Robert Plant, Robin McAuley, ex-Michael Schenker group, a little bit of Sebastian Bach. It's just, and the riffs are huge. Solos are great. The vocals soar into the heavens. Hammond organ. I mean, just listen to this shit. Ripping. Lot of groove, a lot of great riffs. It's heavy as hell. I love it. I mean, these guys, you know, improved leaps and bounds in 2 years, to the point where I hope I get a chance to see them out on the road, because I'm sure these guys are really exciting on stage. So anyway, Scorpion Child, Acid Roulette, Nuclear Blast Records. Get it at all costs. Also, something you got to get at all costs. It's the latest from... Sorry, folks. You know I don't wear my glasses on this show. Sometimes I don't remember the titles of the CDs all the time. But anyway, Rival Sons. It's called Hollow Bones. First of all, see if you can see that a little bit better. I know there's glare here. Awesome cover. It's like a wolf emitting some kind of smoke. There's the guys. You know, this band has kind of taken the hard rock world by storm the last couple of years. They're out of California. They're on Earache Records. You know, I just don't know how far Earache's going to be able to take them, because I think this band has the potential to be one of the hottest bands on the American rock scene. They just got done, or they're still actually opening for Black Sabbath. Great exposure for them. So, you know, are they like kind of like maybe the next Aerosmith? Who the hell knows? The next Bad Company, the next Free, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, that's kind of what these guys are like. Great vocalists, killer guitar work, catchy tunes. It's bluesy. It's hard rocking, psychedelic in spots, a bit of pop. You know, they got a string of very, very, very great. I'm not gonna say solid, because there are great albums, each one of them. This is no change. Perhaps a bit heavier than their last couple. I dig it. If you've liked Rival Sons up until now, you're gonna love this. Now, very, very good. Okay, now, we're talking about the young guns now, so let's kind of go back and talk about, how about the veterans, the guys who have been around a million years, who've been doing it for a long-ass time. So these two guys that I'm going to talk about next just released a new album, first new album from them in, 30 years? Well, it's actually been longer than that. I'm talking about Brad Whitford and Derek St. Holmes. Brad Whitford from Aerosmith, Derek St. Holmes, been in and out of Ted Nugent's band for as long as we can remember, so it's called Reunion, their brand new album. They're once again back together again, and I'm glad they are, because, you know, with all the kind of question marks surrounding the future of Aerosmith, and, you know, St. Holmes has been doing some solo stuff. He's been kind of playing with Nugent again. It's great to hear them both out in the front doing what they do best. This is a great hard rocking album by two excellent veterans of the hard rock scene. You know, Whitford's guitar skills have always been underrated. You know, Joe Perry kind of gets all the credit in Aerosmith, but it's Whitford who's, you know, been the kind of backbone of that band for so long. And, you know, Derek St. Holmes, great singer, really good rhythm guitar player, good lead player too, actually. You know, when he plays with Nugent, it's mostly his vocals you hear. But the guys, I've seen him live doing his solo thing, and he's a terrific frontman, guitar player on his own right. So both of them here are kicking ass. A lot of great new tunes on here. It's pretty rocking. Some bluesy stuff on here. But the key to getting this new release, for those of you who never bought the original Whitford St. Holmes album back in the early 80s, long out of print on CD, so if you didn't already have it on CD or LP, good luck trying to find a copy in recent years. They've included it in here, so I'm one of those lucky dudes because, the schmuck that I am, never bought that back in the day. Should have, but I got it now. So it comes in 2 CDs in one package, and here are the guys. That's what they look like today. A little older, a little wiser, but still talented as hell, and they're churning out some good rock. So highly recommend this. Just came out, so check it out. Reunion. All right, now we're going to switch over to. Well, we're not going to switch over to prog per se, because the guys that are in this band are actually seasoned prog musicians in other well-known bands. But when they do this project together, it's more of kind of like a pop, hard rock, rock and roll type of thing with little bits of prog. It's called the Jelly Jam. Prophet is their latest. Of course, we got Ty Tabor from King's X. We got John Mayone from Dream Theater, and we got Rod Morgenstein, of course, from the Dixie Dregs, but also Winger. They've released a couple of albums. It seems like every 5 or so years they come back and give us a good album of Beatles-influenced rock and roll. Some parts are atmospheric, a little darker. I find this album a little darker than the previous ones. It's a concept album. But, great harmonies, killer instrumentation, but they don't go for the whole prog thing, so it's not like tons of solos and, complex playing and all that kind of stuff and multiple time signatures. Just good rock tunes, catchy. I dig it. Like I said, a little bit darker than the previous ones. But if you like the Jelly Jam and what they've done previously, I think you'll dig this. If you follow those 3 musicians and their other bands, and you haven't checked out the Jelly Jam, it's quite good. It's quite good. So investigate that one. All right, now we're going to go into full-blown prog with little bits of fusion. Okay, so this is the latest from Herd of Instinct. It's called Manifestation. These guys are an instrumental band featuring Chapman stick and guitar and keyboards, bass and drums, various other instruments. The war guitar. This is really good, folks. Like I said, all instrumental. It's a lot of vintage prog sounds going on here with the analog keys meet the digital keys with the war guitar, the Chapman stick or touch guitar, whatever they call it. Guitar, it's just really good. There's elements of fusion, some straight-ahead jazz, but mostly it's just really good, energetic, and complex progressive rock. These guys have put out a bunch of albums. Some lineup changes here. We got some new musicians in the band. The core is still there. I highly recommend this. If you dig instrumental prog and you've never checked out Herd of Instinct, get it. All right, we're going to switch over to extreme metal. All right, so this band that I'm going to talk about right now, they kind of combine symphonic black metal, symphonic death metal, technical death metal in a style that is just really compelling, really adventurous, really dramatic. I'm talking about the band called Enthean. It's Priest of Annihilation. Check out that wicked cool cover. You can imagine these guys on any number of the major heavy metal labels. I mean, look at that cover. It looks like it's a Unique Leader release, right? These guys are happening. Really, really good. Crushing riffs, technical passages with guitars and bass, insane drumming and blast beats. You've got the growling, screaming vocals, and really cool keyboard orchestrations. Think Flesh God Apocalypse, little bits of Behemoth, Emperor for sure. I can't imagine this band is going to be unsigned for long. So, this came out a couple months ago. There's 8 tracks. Highly, highly recommended stuff. A young extreme metal band that is going to go on and do great, great things in the industry. And starting right here. Check it out, folks. All right, we're going to quickly switch gears and go to classic rock. So we got the latest from Black Crowes guitarist Rich Robinson. It's called Flux. As you know, the Black Crowes are kind of in flux themselves. We got Chris and Rich Robinson, 2 brothers. It's like the Ray and Dave Davies of the Kinks all over again. These guys are constantly feuding and not getting along, which has made the output of the Black Crowes in recent years extremely sporadic. But both have gone and done their own thing, and Rich has got a couple solo albums. Here's the latest. It's on Eagle Rock. I dig it. It's good. Bluesy rock, roots rock, hard rock, little bits of kind of southern rock, country rock type of thing. His vocals are quite good. Guitar work is very tasty. There's bits of moody, laid-back stuff. There's more upbeat, hard rocking stuff. It's like a little bit of everything. If you like the Black Crowes, little bits of the funky hard rock they do. There's some of that here. So I dig it. It's good. Very solid. Whatever you want to call it. It's a gospel, it's a soul, southern rock, hard rock, country rock. It's all here. All right, we're going to go over to our friends at Metalville Records, okay? And we've got the latest from Swedish melodic death metal band Degraded. That's that bad boy right there. Very solid. These guys have been around for a while. If you like the whole melodeath style and like, say, Soilwork, In Flames, Scar Symmetry, Nemec, bands of that fashion. Catchy hooks, great riffs, clean versus growling vocals. You know the deal. Not the most original thing ever, but I dig it. It's very, very solid. Metalville Records. Last one from Metalville today, and our last all-new release, is the latest from German juggernauts Rage. And gotta hold on one second, folks, because again, I can't read it, and sometimes these things are really dark. It is called The Devil Strikes Again. Sorry about that. The wonders of getting older and losing your sight. It's a beautiful thing. No. Anyway, this is very good. Back to the new Rage. Really, really good. These guys have been around for a million years, back since the 80s. They've long been one of the kind of leaders on the German metal scene, diving into thrash and, classic metal and power metal, speed metal, all that kind of stuff. This is extremely solid, top to bottom, a lot of great tracks, great riffs. It's Rage. If you've liked this band for the last, 25 plus years, I see no reason why you won't enjoy the hell out of this. So, they're on a good label in Metalville. Hopefully the band kind of, they've always been kind of on the fringe. Hopefully they get rediscovered again here in the U.S. and other parts of the world, because they've just been doing it consistently for so many years. So, Rage, great German metal. With that, we're going to switch to live albums. We're going to go to kind of classic rock, prog hard rock. So, Martin Turner, one of the founding members of Wishbone Ash, singer, bass player. You all know the story. If you've been following Wishbone Ash, there was a big falling out within the band. Martin Turner and most of the other original members left. Various feuds going on. Andy Powell continued with the band, won the rights to the name Wishbone Ash. Martin Turner, though, still continues to tour under his own name, playing the music of Wishbone Ash. So he's got an excellent band. They do the old Wishbone Ash material splendidly. So, if you're a Wishbone Ash fan, you've got the two factions that are still out there playing these great, great songs. That's a good thing. Would it be great if they all kind of got back together, shook hands, and became friends again? Absolutely. Doubt it's going to happen. But anyway, back to this. So we have a double live and DVD set from 2010, recorded at the Leicester Theatre in the UK. It's called Life Begins, featuring Argus in its entirety, classic Wishbone Ash album Argus, one of the greatest albums of all time, played in its entirety, as well as a whole boatload of other popular and lesser-known Wishbone Ash favorites, played by Martin's crack band. I mean, damn good at the time of 2010. They've since had some minor changes, but highly recommend it. The DVD is spectacular. The video is very well shot. Audio is great, both on the CD and on the DVD. All of the songs you want to hear on here. If you're a fan and loyal to the Andy Powell, Wishbone Ash, I love Andy Powell. He's one of my favorite guitar players of all time. I will tell you that the two guys that Turner have playing on here are dynamite guitar players. So, fret not if you think that, Andy Powell and Ted Turner or Laurie Weisfeld's guitar skills would not be, represented by new guys playing the old classic tunes, because they definitely are. It's really, really good. So that's my last. Sorry about that. Phone rang. Happens. Last of the day is Forgotten Favorites. Today we are going to go with, it's Slayer, okay? But before you ask any questions and think that I'm going to pick, Hell Awaits or something like that, or, Rain and Blood, two fantastic albums. I got to tell you, all these years later, my favorite Slayer album is still Show No Mercy, their debut. you know, it's for me, it's like one of the quintessential thrash albums of all time. You know, there's bits of death metal. Hold on one second. Oops. Sorry about that. This is annoying. This is what happens when you work from home and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Show No Mercy. I mean, there's got, you know, The Antichrist, Die by the Sword, Fight Till Death, Black Magic, Tormentor, Final Command, Cryonic, Show No Mercy. Top to bottom, it's just really, really good. It's very raw Slayer. You know, they would change their sound a little bit after this. This is really raw, but it's potent. It's powerful. The riffs are great. The vocals are killer. You know, the drum work is just spectacular. It's for me, it's the Slayer album that I probably go back to the most often nowadays. Although I still listen to, you know, Hell Awaits and Rain and Blood, and a couple after that. You know, once the early mid-90s came about, for me, Slayer were kind of done. I really don't like the material since then. But I love all these old albums, and this one especially is one of my favorites. Doesn't get talked about enough, so for some it's a forgotten favorite, but not for me. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Until next time, be good, be safe. The phone's ringing, so I got to go take it. So I'll see you next time. Visit us on the web at www.seawithtranquility.org and on Facebook, on Twitter, and here every week on YouTube. Thanks a lot. Take care.